What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus package update, stimulus check update, daily news, everything going on here in our country, in Washington, D.C., with our economy, money, investing, the stock market, everything you need to know about on a daily basis. If you're new to our YouTube channel, make sure to click the subscribe button down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so you don't miss out on new videos coming out every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you find these videos helpful, don't forget to hit the like button for us down below. Also, make sure to watch all the way to the end of the video for a special guest appearance. It's getting absolutely crazy here as we go into the new year. We set another record here for the U.S., and it's not a good record. Check this out. That's right. We broke the record again. The new all-time high, 582,000 new cases of people testing positive for the virus yesterday. Wow. That's the new all-time record. Over 500,000 people tested positive yesterday, December 30th. That raises the 7-day average to 346,000 people, 346,767. Remember that the all-time high for a single day used to be 300,000 on January 8th. The 7-day average is now higher than that at 346,000. So we are now well above the highest day ever on a 7-day average every single day now. In fact, we almost doubled that yesterday, 582,000 new people testing positive. We have almost 2 million people that tested positive just in the last 4 days. And remember that this does not count people that use at-home tests. If you have an at-home test, the government doesn't know about it. You're not included in this number. You test positive at home, that's just hospitals and the data doesn't know about it. That's not reported to anybody. And that does not include people that don't get tested at all because tests are sold out everywhere. And if you know about this, if you're trying to get tests locally, you know that they're sold out all across the U.S. So who knows how many actual people are testing positive or actual positive right now. Could be millions more. And when we look at the death count yesterday, 1,417. And the day before, 2,101. And the day before that, 2,494. Yeah. And you can see here, this is why the calls for new stimulus checks are very high among the new Omicron spread and high inflation. Yeah, we're dealing with a lot of different things here. High inflation and the virus spread. Yeah, you can see here, medical experts are now warning that the new virus variant spread could accelerate in the coming weeks. Could get even worse here after New Year's Eve. Think about all the New Year's Eve parties. This big spread right now is mostly from gatherings of Christmas. Think about now we're going to have more gatherings from New Year's Eve, which could potentially mean more business shutdowns and associated financial troubles for tens of millions of cash-strapped, pandemic-weary Americans. Yeah, and I mean, it hits the nail right on the head. And that's exactly what stimulus checks are supposed to do. They're supposed to help cash-strapped, pandemic-weary Americans. Think about how many millions of Americans right now can't go to work because they're quarantined. Can't go to work because they're testing positive. Can't go to work because they have to deal with a child that's tested positive. Yeah. In fact, check out this headline. This is as of today, New Year's Eve, Omicron sending children to hospital in record numbers. The amount of children going to the hospitals are up 66%. Yeah, it's just, honestly, it's just the sheer number of people testing positive. And it's just just absolutely crazy all around. And in addition to that, there's also battles going on in Congress. Republican senators have introduced a resolution here yesterday to nix the Biden health worker vaccine mandate. So we have Congress kind of deciding what's going to happen here going forward with the future of our country. Vaccine mandates, yes or no. And this is for health workers. But we also have the Supreme Court that is working on the major vaccine mandate that is going to affect up to 100 million workers, as 100 million people. President Biden is urging the Supreme Court to keep the workplace vaccine mandate intact. The Supreme Court has said they are going to take up a ruling on the vaccine mandate, the major one for basically all employers and employees that have over 100 employees in January. So that's sometime starting as early as, well, it's not going to be tomorrow on New Year's Day, but it's going to start sometime in January here. So I will keep you up to date on this. This is going to be a major, major ruling that is going to affect tens of millions of Americans here in the United States. So that is going to be, the buck pretty much stops with the Supreme Court. So I will keep you up to date on that because that is going to be a major, major deal. And so far, the Supreme Court has upheld several different vaccine mandate rulings, which is interesting because there are 6 Republican judges and 3 Democratic judges on the Supreme Court. So it's interesting to see, and again, I don't know. It's kind of not to get too political here, but if we were to see a vaccine mandate taken down, it would probably be by Republicans. If you're going to see anything taken down from a Democratic president, it would typically be from Republicans. But the current Supreme Court, even though it's 6 Republicans on the Supreme Court, so far they have upheld all of the Supreme Court or all of the vaccine mandate rulings that they have done so far. So it'll be interesting to see because this is the really big one that they're going to be ruling on here. So yeah, this is the one for all the marbles, so to speak, so far. This is the big kahuna, so to speak. So we'll have to see what happens here. This is going to be a really, really big one because this basically has millions of people's jobs on the line, whether or not they're going to have to get the jab and to keep their job or potentially lose their job if they don't get the jab. We think about a lot of people have lost their jobs because they didn't get the jab. And this is the big vaccine mandate, keep your job type of deal. And the Supreme Court is going to rule on it, they say, as early as January. So I will keep you up to date on that. The FDA says that they also are expected to authorize Pfizer booster shots for children ages 12 to 15 here. That is expected to come here soon. So for children that want to get booster shots or the parents that want to get them for their children ages 12 to 15, that should be coming here shortly. So I will keep you up to date on that. A couple of different stimulus checks things here. Certain Americans have until today, December 31st, to sign up for $1,400 stimulus checks. Make sure you don't miss out. Okay, this is the plus up stimulus checks. So this applies to a certain group of people that didn't qualify for, they're called plus up stimulus checks, didn't qualify for a $1,400 third stimulus check because they maybe made their income was maybe too high, and from their 2019 income and their 2020 income was lower, and they would have to file their tax returns by today to qualify that. So you can see here from this sub headline, Americans must submit their applications for plus up payments worth up to $1,400 or risk missing out on the stimulus checks. IRS officials warned that the deadline to file these tax returns is December 31st, as bosses, I think they mean IRS bosses, said they will not be sending out stimulus checks beyond the date. So, not a lot of people that might be in this situation that haven't filed for it yet. But I figured I would mention this here in case anybody is of this as well. Also, I mentioned this the other day. I do want to mention this again because this is a potential $1,000 stimulus check here for people of Connecticut. Okay. A new tax credit check, stimulus check, whatever you want to call it here, worth potentially $1,000 or more, going out to 200,000 households for the state of Connecticut. You could see this is dated yesterday. Nearly 200,000 people from the state of Connecticut will benefit from new tax credit checks. Remember, stimulus checks are actually tax credits. Um, whether you file a tax return or not, they're still called tax credits. Low income Connecticut residents could be eligible to receive the checks. Connecticut Governor Ned Lamont announced on December 29th that the state's Department of Revenue Services is being directed to retroactively boost the 2020 earned income tax credit to 41.5%. It was previously 23%. This increase means that 198,708 households will receive an additional check. It's pretty cool that they know the exact number. It's amazing. However, the amount will vary depending on need as well as size of the household's federal credit. The IRS calculates this amount based on taxpayers' income, marital status, and number of children. For example, a single parent of two at the federal poverty level who receives a $1,246 state credit in the spring will now receive an extra $1,002 in the state of Connecticut with your tax return. So if you're from the state of Connecticut, definitely look into this. Talk to your tax preparer or whoever files your taxes and make sure you see if you're eligible for this. And if so, claim it so that you get this extra potential $1,000 or $800 or however much it might be. Because if you don't know about it, you might not claim this money. And that's what I'm here for to do. Make sure you guys get as much money as possible. That's why I cover all these different stimulus programs, stimulus checks, stimulus everything, right? So when we cover all these different things, there's a lot of different states going on here. Literally almost every other day, I have a different state announcing stimulus checks, stimulus programs, stimulus something or other. Some of them call them tax rebates. Some of them call them other something or other. Just the other day, I want to mention this because I mentioned this in my last video, and a lot of people were like, well, I'm from Michigan, but I don't know about this. The state of Michigan is giving a $400 refund. It's kind of an insurance fund refund that they're paying back to their residents per vehicle. Per vehicle. It's kind of a, again, it's kind of a stimulus type measure where the state's paying back to their residents. And we want to see more and more states do whatever type of program they call it. We want to see more states give back to their residents during this time of need during this pandemic. In this case, Michigan is giving $400 checks per vehicle. Okay, so if you have one vehicle, it's $400. If you have two vehicles, it's $800. If you have three vehicles, it's $1,200. If you have four vehicles, it's $1,600. Sorry, and if you have five vehicles, it's $2,000. So if you have five vehicles in your family, if you're a family of four, you have five vehicles, you could get $2,000. So Michigan is giving what they're calling an insurance refund because I guess Michigan has to pay into an extra insurance fund for injuries and something like that. And there's a surplus. So they're actually giving billions of dollars back to Michigan residents. So $400 per driver per vehicle. So really cool to see that for the state of Michigan. I had a lot of comments from Michiganders in the last video because I mentioned it, and a lot of Michiganders didn't even know about it. So yeah, that is going to be coming here in the new year in 2022 in the next couple months. So I will keep you updated on that as well. By the way, South Africa has lifted its curfew as it says that the COVID Omicron peak has passed. So this is kind of important because remember, this is where many people think that the virus variant has originated from. And if this is the case there, we're dealing with a peak right now here in the US, not that much longer than where it came out of South Africa. So if that's the case, this would be somewhat good news here because we would be not that far behind South Africa. Okay. Maybe a few weeks. So this could give us a potential timeline on how long we could be dealing with a peak here in the US. Um, it's just it's so tough to deal with this, right? So again, you could look at this as an optimist or a pessimist, thinking, yeah, well, we're going to have to deal with this for several more days or however long. But South Africa says that its peak has passed, and they said that they have made changes based on the trajectory of the pandemic, levels of vaccination in their country, and available capacity in the health sector. Besides lifting the restrictions on public movement, the government said gatherings will be restricted to no more than 1,000 people indoors. And whew, that's a lot, 1,000 people indoors. Oh my goodness. Can you imagine that? How many people? Whew. Alrighty. But they said that they have passed their peak, so we'll have to see how far behind the US will be here. Let me know your thoughts. Also, our thoughts and prayers go out to anybody in Colorado or surrounding areas that are dealing with the wildfires going on right now. Yeah, they're very bad right now. Take a listen. We're going to have some special guests in the next video, too.
We're going to have some guests in the New Year Day. Hi.
All right, so guess what? Tonight.
Showed everybody in my new pants.
Wow, what does that say? It says, save the earth so I can sleep at night.
Save the earth so I can sleep at night.
Tonight is New Year's Eve.
It says, ooh, Santa loves cookies.
Santa does love cookies, and so does Daddy.
Daddy doesn't like cookies. I like cookies too.
Nom 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 nom.
I like poopy cookies. I love cookies with frosting on it. No. That was right of me.
All right, can you say Happy New Year?
Happy New Year!
All right, say bye-bye, we love you. And say click here to watch our newest video next.
Click here to our newest video next.
Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And say no, 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 no.